Hey guys, this is David. Welcome to another episode of You're Not Alone. Um, some big things happened this past week or so. I had my family therapy meeting yesterday, which I'll definitely cover in this video. Um, I got a lot of, not all, but I got the main points of what I wanted to kind of get out of from the meeting. How I deem it, if it will be successful or not, um, will be on how they kind of like they react, or not really react, but like how they act on the words that I said. If it like truly reached out to them. Um, it was it was very nerve wracking. Um, it was, and hopefully hopefully it got through to both of them in some sense, and maybe, and what I really hope from this environment is just to like from that entire meeting in general was to like get everything out in the open. Like I don't want to be the person to bottle all these feelings in, or I just want to get everything out. I want to like to air it out. I want it to be known that I'm going through this, so that they're not like kept in the dark, and they can kind of understand that, like, sometimes that, like, well, like, they can understand what I'm going through, and like understand what really hurt. Um, but overall, I cried. I cried a lot yesterday. Yesterday was very emotionally draining, and I felt really tired. But I felt good that I got it out in the open. Um, I felt really positive, and something that I haven't really felt over the past while now, and which I'll also cover in this video as well. Um, but yeah, so right now I got my lease all sorted out. I just had to send in the medical forms this week, which I am going to do, and everything should be a-okay. I should be able to move out, no problem. Um, no like no bad things or negative consequences from moving out early or breaking my lease or whatever, because I have it's a personal medical reason, um, and so that's getting situated. I'm gonna move on Memorial Weekend. It's kind of bittersweet, kind of leaving North Carolina behind, but my therapist, my mom, and I guess my dad, kind of like, or my dad's more reluctant, but I think he's okay with me living with my mom just for a change of pace, and I'm not really like alone in this apartment building, which I guess I'll also talk about in this video as well. Um, and just a change of pace, like going to a new state, being next to the beach, where I'll probably be going out to the beach a lot during the summer, which I guess is fine with me. Um, but things are looking good. Yeah, so let's start things first. Things first with the meeting. The meeting happened yesterday with my therapist, and we got a lot of stuff out. Like, I got a lot of stuff out of the way, or out in the open, not out of the way. But I talked about like the causes or the events that led up to me being depressed. I talked about the events that led me to being stressed and anxious about everything. How I felt that I needed to handle everything because I believe that my happiness stemmed from making other people happy. Um, just because I didn't want them to like think bad things of me. I kind of want to be like you look up the word like good in the dictionary, and you'll find my name or my picture uh, next to that word. Like that's what I wanted. I wanted to be well known through my peers and colleagues, um, and I think that's good to like aim for. Be the best person that you can be, but I took it to extreme lengths by kind of just doing everyone's work, um, and not really able to rely on anyone because I viewed it as a weakness that I couldn't like do my job, and like people will like start like relying on me less and less, and I just wanted to be relied on. I just wanted to be like I just wanted people to notice me in a sense. Um, so the events that led to me being depressed, which I stated in the first video, the divorce of my parents, which I won't go into too much detail, but it affected me a lot. Um, Partly because I just as all divorces happen as a kid, or when you're the child of um, undergoing certain or undergoing the process, your family's splitting up, and I had this false expectation that like my parents would get together and we'll be a family again, and um, that kind of like didn't seem plausible. Um, so that happened. Uh, Also, how I didn't want to be this bitter person when my grandfather died, because my grandfather, he loved me very much. Uh, um, Sometimes from his actions, I think I was his favorite grandchild. I don't know per se. I never heard him say, but to me, it was like we had something special in the times that I did meet him, and it was just looking back on it, and it still haunts me and pains me to this day. Um, Him seeing me like angry, sad, depressed, like on Christmas, and that was his last memory of me, and I just felt horrible about myself. Um, and I just kind of decided I didn't want to be this bitter person anymore. I didn't want people to like. I didn't like. I don't know if my grandfather will think of that moment, but until maybe I meet him in the afterlife. But um, it's just I just feel like that was his last memory of me, and it was his last memory of me, and I just feel awful. Um, I never really visited my grandparents that much. Um, I took them for granted. I really did. Um, you know, my grandmother on my mom's side, she was sick, and as a kid, I just felt it was just like a drag to go to the hospital and like be someplace boring, and so I visited her like maybe 2 or 3 times out of the span of a couple months. My family was there every day. It seemed like, or as often as they could, and she passed away, and then just guilt. I just take them for granted. Um, to me, it always seemed like a drag to go out of my way to visit them when they're aging. It Because I always thought like oh, I have more time, but like in reality, I don't I don't have enough time. Um, Not spending time with my grandparents really. Really, it still hurts me. It's time that I won't get back. Um, like if I had built a time machine and I could go back in the past, I would tell myself to spend more time with my grandparents. Um, for both of our sakes. Um, so yeah, those things got out of the way. I told my dad that this is really what I wanted to do. Try for the next couple of years. Um, it's just something that I'm really passionate about, and playing professional Dota. Um, my mom, like again, they don't really understand, but at the same time, my mom's more lenient, but my dad's still kind of adjusting to it, I guess, which I can't really blame him for it. It's like I just decided I wanted to be like professional football player, and then I haven't really played football. You know, I'm not planning. Again, I'm gonna clearly emphasize, I'm not planning on devoting my entire life to doing this. I've given myself 3 years max, and who knows, like, like after a certain point, maybe like within a year or so, like I'll probably like realize that like, hey, this isn't going anywhere. I need to change directions. Maybe, who knows? But I want to at least try it. I wanna live my one of my main goals in life now is to live life without any regrets. Just do what makes you happy. You know, like at least make an effort. At least try. Um, and I feel like if I don't do this, it's gonna haunt me because like there's something that I'm passionate in, something that's growing, um, has a growing community, has a growing profession, and I didn't even take the chance to do it. You know, like I could have been a part of something, something revolutionary. You know, um, and I don't want to live, and that's I think really what like disoriented me from school. Because I kept on like thinking like, oh, like this is time that I could have been using to like play Dota. This is time that like I could have been using to like practice. This is time that I could have been used to like actually like you know improve or just like each day that passes, that's a day that I could have been like working towards my like my goal. And I can't multitask very well anymore. Because once I start like multitasking different things, I start like trying to do everything like a machine. Um, and unfortunately, fortunately, I'm not a machine. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. I make faults. I'm imperfect, and I'm okay. I'm starting to be okay with that. Um, I'm. We're not designed to do everything. I think we're designed to just to just experience anything really, good or bad, and with those experiences we can either shape a better future for ourselves. Um, at least that's what I believe. But anyway, long story short, um, I got I pretty much said all I needed to say in the therapy session, and now I'm going to be more vocal about things. Um, like I'm gonna tell like my parents that like, hey, like I don't like it when you do such and such, and most of the time I'm not expecting them to do anything about it. Like in that moment, like, hey, like I don't like it that you're buying like so many things for like my brother, for example, and I don't want like I don't have like I don't the goal of that, like if I said that, it isn't to just like, oh, like well buy me something. Like I just want it to be known, like like, hey, I have opinions on this, like this is how I feel on it. I just want to get it out. I don't I don't I don't every time I try to like say something or just like express an opinion, I don't expect to like get like to meet my demands, like, oh, like you're buying this guy like like this new item, why can't I have one? Like I don't want to be that. I don't have like I'm not really materialistic in a sense. I'm okay with hand me downs from time to time. Of course, I like new things, but I don't really I don't really like you know see the point in having the latest things all like every year. Like I'm okay with I want to get the maximum use out of things. Um, till it's time for an upgrade. Um, and me time for an upgrade for certain things like computer. Like I've had this computer for about maybe 4 years, so now it's about time for an upgrade. Like I gotten the maximum like use out of this computer. And my monitor, like it's had it for a couple years as well. I think it's time for an upgrade as well. Um, stuff like that. Because I don't want to be spoiled. I really don't, because if I be spoiled and I just won't mature as an adult. Um, I don't feel like everything should be handed to me on a silver platter, and I have no expectation of that. I do wish some things were, but that's not how the real world works. Um, I just want to be better understood. I want to get my thoughts and emotions out, and hopefully, my family creates an environment where I can openly express myself, and I don't have to bottle everything in. Um, so that's what I really wanted to get out of this family meet therapy session. I just want an environment to be expressive, um, where I don't have to feel like burdened. Not really burdened. Where I don't feel like I'm putting a burden on people by expressing myself. Um, so the mood changes. I'm still taking the Lexapro. Hasn't really been affecting my mood per se. Um, I've been actually feeling pretty sad up until this moment. Um, some suicidal thoughts every now and then. They're not as severe as they were in the past. Um, I don't think about ways to kill myself. I just think that some days I just like, oh, I just want to disappear. Like I just wanna disappear from this world, get rid of all my problems, all this depression, anxiety, I'm tired of fighting those kinds of things. And it's only for that brief instance, and then like after a while, it goes away. Um, it pops up every now and then. Um, I think the reason for that is that I'm not really seeing any progress moving forward in weight change, um, or in mood changes as of yet. Um, the family therapy session actually really helped, and the therapy sessions are helping. I'm getting out what I need to say. Um, and also Logic songs. The suicide hotline number, the 1-800 number song, and also the song called Anxiety. Both those songs from his new album Everybody. They're my favorite songs, I think. Um, Out of all the songs that he's done before, I'm just in love with those two songs. Just because I relate to them so much. I do. I really do. If you haven't listened to them, I'll put them in the description below. They're really good songs, and I'm not trying to promote his work or anything, but like it just it connects with me on like an emotional level. I don't think any other song has connected with me in such a way um, that I just like I listen not only I just listen like normally I just listen to the music. I don't really focus on the lyrics, but I just focus on the lyrics with those two songs. And it always starts out the same. For the 1-800 number, it starts off really sad. It's about suicide, depression, and how like you feel like you're alone, you just want to die. And then it transitions to him saying, "I don't want you to die, and here's why." And he starts like talking about like how like there are better things in life. You just need a taste of like being happy, and once you've had that taste, you can fight, and there are people who are willing to fight with you to help you like obtain that happiness. And he understands like he like understands where you're coming from because he's going through the exact same thing. He wants you to be alive, you know, and then it transitions to like you saying, "I don't want to die. I want to be alive. I want to fight for this. I don't want to cry. I don't want to die. I want to live. I want to live and be happy." And whenever I get like sad, like super sad and maybe suicidal, it I always listen to that song. Always, 100% listen to that song, because not only does it have the suicide hotline number as its title, but it cheers me up. Like it like reminds me that like, hey, I'm not alone fighting this. Ironic as that is, as I'm, making a series called "You're Not Alone." But it resonates with me a lot. That song. His other song, "Anxiety." It starts off mellow, relax. Like this beautiful female voice is singing, and she's saying that everything's fine, everything's okay. You're happy, you're calm. But then sometimes, you'll get that like moment of anxiety, that panic attack, and then logic comes in, and it just starts. It's so intense. It's dark. It's like in your face kind of thing. And the lyrics, like, it's what anxiety is about. Like you think everything's calm and fine, and then all of a sudden, in that moment, it gets really intense. You start overthinking things, and it has negative effects on your body. Like you start like rapid heart beating. Your stomach feels upset. You get nauseated. You sometimes vomit. Like you get headaches. You feel dizzy. You pass out sometimes. You feel anemic. Like it like affects you like physically and mentally. And the lyrics like it's just like anxiety is getting in your mind. It's gonna mess you up. And you think everything's gonna be fine, but he's just going back going back to the basics, and you can't erase it. Um, and it just reminds me of my panic attacks that I've had in the past, the stress that I've taken, the anxiety, like all those doctor visits. Um, it reminds me of that. Um, but at the same time, towards the end, he goes into detail about his personal story about his first panic attack, and how it just and how like what the events that happened, how it just happened like randomly. He was fine up until that point, and then he went to the like he just had this panic attack. He passed out, went to the hospital, got blood work done, got like all these tests done, and he started to wonder and started fearing that like this could happen again. But then over time, he starts to realize that like, you know what? There's nothing to be afraid of. Like anxiety's not going to take control of us. It's not going to take control of me. It's not going to take control of logic. We're just letting it because we're scared. We don't have to be scared of anxiety. We can fight anxiety. We can do something about it. We can get help for it. There's help for it. There's medication for it. There are therapy sessions for it. There are like you can talk to people about what you feel anxious about, and like people will help you get overcome it. Like you don't have to be scared. And you don't have to feel embarrassed of having anxiety. Like everyone has anxiety at some point, less severe or more severe than others, but like you have anxiety. You feel nervous about like, giving a report to like the class, like an oral report to the class, presenting it or presenting a presentation at work. Yeah, that's anxiety. You're nervous. You're anxious. You start stressing out. That's anxiety, Like everyone goes through it once in their life to some degree. And we shouldn't be afraid, we shouldn't feel embarrassed. We should just embrace it, fight it, and overcome it. And that's the point that's the message he wants to get like across from that song. He ends the song by saying, "I have anxiety," in a proud like manner, like he's proclaiming it, like he's shouting it out to the world for the world all to hear. Like like he has anxiety, he's not afraid of it. You know, and just those two songs, just they they connect with me on an emotional level. His music is helping me, and it's to a certain degree, it's saving me. Um, it's saving me. Music is a powerful thing. It's a beautiful, powerful thing. Um, and yeah, I just love music. I think I just love music because now I can listen to what the artist is trying to like proclaim, trying to express herself or himself. I can listen, I can feel, I can try to relate myself to it. Um, yeah, so that's that's my thought on um, the negativity that I've been going through a lot. I had a dream today, and I told this to my teammates that it was like a dream about like my whole like journey to becoming a professional Dota player. Um, we just started getting better, started improving. We found our last fifth key player. Everything started melding well. We started winning these amateur tournaments, started gaining MMR, started making like a name for ourselves in our pubs, and all this training, all this preparation while we're working, and all this other stuff led to this one moment where we participated in this the majors league, Dota 2. It's a The majors are two tournaments that is it's kind of like the Super Bowl of Dota in a sense. It's not the granddaddy of them all, but it's a big enough tournament for that season. We qualified for one of them from the open qualifiers, and when we made it to the from the open qualifiers to the closed qualifiers, because you have to play open qualifiers if you haven't been invited to play in the official like divisional qualifiers, and then from there you can earn an invite or a spot on the tournament. When we made it to the regional qualifiers, everyone was just they were just like they were like bad talking us. They had low expectations for us. They're just like, oh, this team was like an open qualifier team. Like they're like 6K 7K players. Like like they're not going to go far in this tournament, especially with all these teams like Complexity and like all these like other experienced, well-known teams qualifying or trying to play. Well, we won, and everyone was shocked, and like we even shocked ourselves, but like we did it in the dream, of course, and yeah, and like we got together. We had like a boot camp session for like the next couple months. We all like went up to one of our teammates' houses, and we just started like non-stop Dota, scrimming, playing games like pubs, analyzing replays, and just like all these other things. And um, we got a couple sponsors on the way too, to help support our travel fees and stuff. But and uh, one sec. So as I was saying, we were we made it to the tournament. We did well in the group stages, and then we got in the end we got top. We finished top 8, I think. I don't remember what place we got, but we finished top 8, which is remarkable. That's where you get like not only is that where you get like a decent amount of money, but like you're a team that went through the open qualifiers, and you went top 8 against all these other teams that were invited and so forth. Like that's impressive. Like a rookie team like getting top 8 at a major, like that shows potential. Then we started making a name for ourselves, and like then we just started like we could be called professionals at that point. And and then I woke up towards the end of the journey. But I told my teammates about it, and it sounded silly, but like one of them was really like energetic about it. They were really happy. They're just like, oh shit, like that's so cool, like that's awesome, like we started like hyping each other up, like pumping each other out, like yo, this could actually happen, like let's make this come true, and if it happens, you're a psychic, Dave. And I'm like I'm laughing it off, and like we're just having a good old time. And it motivated us, like we want to succeed. We want to do something. We want to prove everyone wrong. We want to chase our dreams, no matter how big or small. We just want to be happy, and Dota right now makes us happy. Um, but yeah, it was just something that I just decided to talk about, and I forget the third thing I wanted to talk about actually. So apologies for that. But yeah, it's just something that makes me happy, and yeah, it's just life is looking good so far. The therapy sessions are helping tremendously. I think I get depressed when I haven't gone to therapy for more than like a week or two. Um, so it helps a lot to just like just express myself in a manner where I can just express myself. um, but I don't know what I'm gonna do when I move to South Carolina, but maybe I'll make the therapy sessions once a month when I go to Dr. Wallace on the same day. Um, kind of just talk about everything and all that. But hopefully, the environment that I'm put in South Carolina will help me be enough, I guess. Hopefully, um, but the future's looking bright as always. Just gotta open the curtains to see the sunshine, I guess. Um, but once again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I haven't said this in a while, but this series was inspired by Little Kuriboh in his work, and he will always be a key figure in this video series, um, giving me the inspiration to kind of express myself in this kind of way. Um, so as always, his link to his YouTube and his video playlist about his struggles through depression, stress, anxiety will be in the description, as well as the Logic songs as well. Please check them out. It helps us, kind of. It gives another perspective, because I know that like I'm not enough to kind of like uh, guide or help guide you. The more help, the better. It doesn't hurt. They really do help me, and I hope they help you too. Um, so once again, no matter what you're going through, just realize that you're not alone, and that stress is still stress, anxiety is still anxiety, and depression is still depression, no matter what. Um, no matter how severe, no matter what events led you to going through this, we're all in this together. Um, we're gonna overcome it together, one step at a time, whether it be baby steps or just giant leaps. Um, at the end at the end of the journey, like Joshua Graham once said, so with great comfort that in the end, um, well, is with great comfort to know that in the end, in a world filled with misery and uncertainty, it's with great comfort to know that in the end, there's light shining in the darkness. When we reach our lowest point, we're open to the greatest change. And once we hit our lowest point, the only way that we can go is up, because we're at the bottom. The only way to go is forward. So remember that always. I try my best to remember that at times, but uh, it helps. Trust me, it helps. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and my other videos as well, as always. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.